Hi. If this is the first time you've come across me, welcome. My name is Charlie Beswick, and if you are the parent, carer, or loved one of a child with SEND, which in the UK stands for Special Educational Needs and Disability, then you're going to want to hang around. If you're not, then you're probably not going to be interested in me or what I've got to say, so you can scroll on and enjoy the rest of your day. But if you are the parent, carer, or loved one of a child with SEND, then stick around. What I've got to say in this video and on the rest of the channel is hopefully going to be very interesting to you at worst and potentially a game changer at best. So stick with me while I just give you a very quick overview of my life, how that's got me here, and why I'm somebody that can help you. As I said, my name's Charlene, so Charlie's short for Charlene. And in 2004, I found out that I was pregnant with twins, and I was quite smug about that. I was thinking, super uterus over here, having two babies at once, get me. And I was really, really excited. I went into spontaneous labour in June of 2005 and I was 32 weeks pregnant, and my babies arrived by emergency C-section. They only weighed £3.9, so they were whisked away as we expected they would be. And my partner, my fiance at the time, went and rang everybody and said, Charlene's fine, and we've got two healthy boys. So it was very, very exciting. And then 4 hours later, the paediatrician came to see us. And he said, twin one, who we'd called Oliver, is absolutely fine. And I knew then that things were going to change. And he said, twin two, who we'd called Harry, has been born with a rare craniofacial condition that we believe is called golden heart syndrome. So for him, it means that he's been born with no eye socket, no ear, no nostril, a short jaw, underdeveloped jaw, all on his left-hand side. He may also be brain damaged and will probably never walk. So I went from smug, elated, excited, new mum, I was 26, just completely blindsided by this news. And instantly I felt guilty. I must have done something to my baby. I must have caused this problem. And over the next days, weeks, months, and years, I felt a whole host of emotions. Guilt stayed with me strongly, grief for the life that I would never know, that my children would never know, that my family would never enjoy, anger, why me, why us, jealousy and comparison as I saw other people enjoy a life that they were taking for granted that had been meant for me. And I really, really struggled. I didn't want to be a send mum. That wasn't what I'd been dreaming of when I was pregnant. And I just hoped with blind faith that Harry would be okay and the hospital would be wrong and everything would be fine. And everything is fine, just in a different kind of way now. So thankfully, Harry's mobility wasn't affected. He is super quick. He's like the love child of Usain Bolt on Roadrunner, if you were old enough to remember Roadrunner, really quick. But he is autistic, which presents a lot of challenges for Harry. So he has significant learning disabilities. And although he is 20, nearly 21 at the time of filming, goodness me, he does function significantly younger than that. So he is really enjoys cause and effect toys, noisy, light up, those sort of bright, highly irritating toys that he absolutely loves. And he loves his life. His communication skills are limited, so verbally he's really limited, but he is absolutely able to let you know what he wants, and he lives a very full and very happy life. Equally, Oliver is incredible. I always say that siblings are the unsung heroes of stories like ours. He grew up very quickly in ways that his peers didn't understand. He had to sort of wait in the wings when he deserved centre stage. He had to sacrifice a lot. And it does come at a price being the sibling of a disabled child. And as much as he loves Harry, I know it's been really tricky for him at times. He struggled a lot with crippling anxiety, and that's something he's had to work very, very hard on. So I am incredibly proud of both of my boys. So going back to the earlier days, it was a lot to get my head round. The boy's dad and I got married the year after they were born, but sadly our marriage didn't last, and we separated when the boys were 5. And I found myself a single parent actually being able to sleep for the first time in 5 years because with Harry's autism, he just didn't. He thought sleep was overrated for the week. Um, and so I unraveled at that point, I think with a little bit of time and space. And everything caught up with me, and I ended up being really depressed and very, very low in a very dark place. Because as wonderful and rewarding and magical as my life is with my boys, and it is, it's also being incredibly lonely, overwhelming, exhausting. There was nobody I knew that had disabled children, so there was nobody that could give me any answers to the questions I'd got about what life might look like. And I just felt very, very lonely. I would have more questions than answers. I wasn't sure who to meet, which professionals I'd be in touch with. I just kind of stumbled my way through life, all the while putting this big smile on. I call it the lie we wear, so that when people asked me how I was, I'd say, "Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine." And I wasn't fine. I was imploding. I'd be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, staring at the ceiling with a head full of fears and worries. And I think the pressure of having somebody's life in your hands is really, really quite intense. And so I have thought, felt, experienced every joy, every love, every pleasure of being a send mum, but also every darkness, every worry, every concern, every doubt, every fear. And so I continued. I was a teacher, so I continued teaching as long as I could. I did have to work part-time in the end because of Harry's operations and needs. I did then take a couple of years break, and then I went back again part-time just for a couple of days. And work kept me sane. But as a teacher, it was always in me to make a difference to other people. So I collated everything that I'd written over the last 12 years, I think it was at that time, and I published a book called Our Altered Life. And that was so rewarding to speak to other parents that were saying, "You're saying what I'm too scared to admit." And that really started the journey for me helping other people. So I created an opportunity for me to go into schools and educate children on visible difference and autism, which I still love doing from time to time now. I set up a not-for-profit for the emotional well-being of mums and created a course for those mums specifically struggling with the big emotions, the guilt, grief, comparison, overwhelm, fears for the future. And then that's led me here to the village with the full backing of my family and everybody around me. I will say that I did remarry. So when I say my family, we are now a very merry bunch of six. I met Andrew in 2011 when his children were 5 and 3. So we've all been in each other's lives for a long time, and we are a great unit, and they support me in everything that I do. So the village, what is it? Why should you listen? The village is the roadmap. It's the community. It's the answers. It's the support. It's the space that I needed at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was on my own in the depths of the night with all these fears, worries, and questions. It's that place that I needed. Back in 2005, I didn't have access to social media. And now we do. And I feel that I've got a duty to really help the mum that I was and help other parents, other family members. It's not just mums, it is dads, it's grandparents, it's siblings, it's everybody around the child. That life is made richer for having them in it. But also, there are more struggles, more fears, more worries. And I want to create a place and a space where that can be held with compassion, without judgment, and with support. So that's what the village will be. So my invitation to you is to like this video, send it to somebody who you know might be struggling at this stage in their send journey as well, and subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be uploading a series of videos that takes you on the journey with me as I found, build, and hopefully introduce the village to the world so that we can change the future for send families so that they don't feel so isolated, so lonely, and so afraid of the future. So join me, subscribe, and let's see where we go. The journey continues.